Right, Chris Boyd. Okay, Toby. No, it's from Toby. Right. Can you take anything out of the way the Stormers played against the Bulls last week, or is week one largely irrelevant?
We thought the Stormers played really well, and obviously, as a consequence of them winning that game, that's going to have an impact on what the Bulls bring to the game. But really, there's not a massive amount of learnings out of that game.
What were the major areas that came out in the review against the Lions?
Well, two or three things we were really happy with. Obviously, our exits out of the back end of our field we were happy with in our defence, but we failed to hang on to the ball for any length of time, and you're not going to win too many games with 30-odd% possession and territory. So the clear message to us was that, probably mainly because of poor discipline where we gave away far too many penalties and then kept giving them ball back to them, we were probably lucky to come away with a win in the end.
Were you as surprised as everyone else by the round one results across the competition?
Well, I think if you had have picked all those results, you would have done fairly well at the TAB. So, the form books based on history, and there's a lot of things happen between one year and the other. But I think most people would have been pretty surprised with a number of those results.
How come Callum Gibbons is starting ahead of Artie this week?
I think Callum's been this his third year in the environment, and Callum had a good little cameo, but it's really about workloads and horses for courses, and I think with Artie and Victor, we've got a bit of a specialised job for them coming off the bench together.
And Ray Lilo?
No, Ray, to be fair, Ray probably would have started, and we probably would have brought off the bench if Ray had been fit, but he got a hip spiker from the weekend and it's not 100% fit, and so we didn't want to risk him this week, and you'll see that he's not even on the bench. So after a really good performance against the Lions, that would have been a tough call.
And what are you expecting from Nonu in his first game back?
Well, I think we can all get a bit carried away about that. Ma'a hasn't played for 7 months, so some of the guys were a little bit rusty last week that hadn't played for a couple of months, and he hasn't played for 7. So my expectation on him is not high. I think he'll be really keen just to do his core roles really well and see how many minutes we can get through.
And how has preparation been during the week, and what's the mood amongst the guys after the first up win?
Well, we were pretty dinged up and tired after the Lions game. It was a pretty physical match, and we'll expect a very physical match against the Bulls, obviously. But we've come up out of Johannesburg for the last 2 or 3 days and prepared away from the town, and I think the boys are in good shape.
The Bulls are coming off an upset loss, so what extra are you expecting from them this week? The Bulls coach said he expects the ball to be in play a lot more against the Hurricanes.
Yeah, well, nobody likes to lose games, and nobody likes to lose games at home, and they certainly won't want to be losing 2 in a row. And that's, of all the stadiums in the Super 15, the Bulls at home is potentially the most sort of intimidating cauldron. So I think it was always going to be a tough ask, and it's just got a little bit tougher by the fact that they lost their first games against the Stormers, and I think the wagons will be circling.
Clearly more of a threat up front this week. What work has gone into countering this area of dominance?
Yeah, I think they bring a different strength. The Lions in 2014 had the best scrum, and they had an extremely good scrum again, and I was really chuffed with the way our guys came back and countered that at the back end. The Bulls, on the other hand, their major strength up front is their line out and their physicality. So they've got some really hard-running, physical, direct athletes, and so that's where the intensity is going to come in the contest.
And the special challenge for Beauden Barrett this week coming up against Andre Pollard. How much effort has gone into denying him space?
Oh, probably no effort at all. I mean, I don't really think that there's any. We would seldom draw comparisons between the tens on a one-on-one basis. Really, as the conductor of the orchestra, they'll run their own ships. So it's really comparing a team with a team rather than an individual. But You know, the biggest threat that we feel Honrad had is that he can kick goals from 65 metres, and so we need to be extremely disciplined around, particularly around rucks and mauls.
Beautiful. That's it.